Hi, this is the Balkan Architect, and in this video I will show you how can you create a watercolor effect architectural rendering like this one using Revit and Photoshop. But before we get started, I would ask you to like this video, it helps me out a lot, and if you haven't subscribed already, I suggest you do because I create videos like these pretty much every day. Okay, so let's get started. I'm in Revit right now. This is some project I have, and I've already set the camera over here, and now I want to show you what do you need to create a presentation like the one I've shown you. So you do need a rendering, and I already have created a simple rendering over here, and if you want to see how did I create this rendering, I suggest you hit the link that's below in the suggestions. I already created a video explaining that. Now we need to create a couple of more drawings, which are basically line drawings, but we need to add some shadows. So I'm going to go here to Visual Styles, go Graphic Display Options, and then I'm just going to go here in Shadows and turn on Cast Shadows and Ambient Shadows and apply. And as you can see, it's quite dark right now, so we need to make these shadows a bit lighter. So I'm just going to go here in Lighting and set the sun, the ambient light at something a bit higher, and the shadows I'm going to drop down a bit. Okay, this looks about right, so I'm just going to hit OK, and now I need to export this rendering, or basically a shadow 3D view, and to do so I'm going to hit here this Start menu. I'm going to go to Export, Images and Animation, and now Image. And here for the format, you might want to go with JPEG, but actually TIFF is the best. In my opinion, it basically looks best, it's the best quality. And here I'm going to change the name, let's just save it at desktop, call it 3D model, save. And here fit to, I usually put 15,000 pixels. It might look like an overkill, but that doesn't matter, you can always scale it down, and the graphics is best when you set it at 15,000, so I'm just going to hit OK. And once that is completed, let's jump into Photoshop to start creating our watercolor effect. Okay, now we're in Photoshop, but before we load in our 3D views, I just want to insert some watercolor effects or some images from online. So I found this, it looks kinda nice, this pattern. So I'm just going to go right click, copy image, and then in Photoshop I'm just going to go Ctrl V to paste it in place, and I'm going to make it a bit larger like so, and I'm just going to leave it like this. So what we need to do now is we need to create a mask that we'll use in order to mask certain parts of our 3D rendering. If it doesn't make sense right now, it will when we do so, but first we need to create this mask. So now I have this layer over here, and I'm just going to do a black and white effect over that, and then you might want to play around with these sliders to change the image a bit. Yeah, this blue one will change a lot, and this one as well. Okay, this looks about right. So now we have something that looks like this, and I'm going to create a new layer, and let's turn off this layer for a moment. And here I'm just going to select a window like, well, like this, maybe like that. Okay, and I'm just going to fill it with black color. So I'm just going to go here with fill, black, okay. Now let's drop the opacity just a bit to make it a bit gray, and then I'm going to turn on this layer over here, and let's move the black layer down and put this on overlay, so, or multiply for example. Okay, and now I'm going to go back here to this black layer or gray layer, and using this brush I'm going to maybe make a little bigger brush, and hardness I'm going to put to 0, zoom out a bit, and now I'm going to make it disappear in some places. So let's make it disappear on this side over here. So yeah, that looks about right, and here I'm just going to add the gray in this portion. Maybe make it a bit darker. Yeah, like this gray. Okay, now we have this gray, and when we turn it on, it looks like this. Maybe just make it disappear over here. Okay, this looks about right. Now I'm just going to go deselect. And now we have our mask. So now I'm just going to select all of this, go right click and merge layers, and now we have our black and white layer, and this is basically our mask. Now we can turn that off for a bit, and now we need to load in our images, and they're saved on desktop, so I'm just going to go here, move it a bit, and load in these two images. Let's just hit this check and this as well. Now let's select this 3D model, Control T to make it fit the screen, something like that. Okay, now I'm going to set up the rendering. Now if you can't really position the rendering, I suggest you drop the fill or the opacity down a bit like this, and then when you go Control T to change the size, you can actually see how large it is, so you can put it in place. Okay, that looks almost right. Let's make it a bit smaller here. Yeah, that looks right now. Okay, now I'm going to turn this layer off, and let's turn this layer on. And now once you're on this layer, just select everything and go Control C. Then once you do that, you turn on this layer over here. You can turn this one back off. Now you turn this one back on, and you put the opacity to whatever is maximum, and then you go here and you create a layer mask. So just hit this and you've created a layer mask, and now while holding Control, select that, or I'm sorry, holding Alt, select that mask and go Control V to paste your mask in place. So you can see this mask has been placed over here, and that's it. Okay, now when you turn it on, it looks like this, and that doesn't really look right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this mask and go here on Image, Adjustments, and Invert. And now we have something that looks kinda like this. So now you can turn on your other layer, which is basically this layer with the black and white 3D view. And now let's move this mask a bit. So I'm just going to unconstrain it by hitting this button here, and I'm just going to move it like so, so it captures this part over here. And then, because it isn't really merged all that nice, it has some elements, it has this over here, so now you can edit those elements in the mask. So I can select this mask, maybe select this over here, and use a black brush to brush that away. Then you just go and deselect that. And now if you want to make everything look even better, you can use some brushes. So here I have loaded in some brushes earlier. I have these watercolor brushes. Okay, and now I can use these on my mask in order to make everything blend in a bit better. And I'm just going to use white paint here, like so. Maybe change to this one here. And you just add some points to make everything blend in place. And once you've done that, you can add some adjustments to make everything look even better. So I like to use these here over color lookup filters. So I'm just going to select this and maybe scroll through these, maybe find something that looks nice. That one looked kinda nice. Yeah, this one is okay. And there you go. That's how you create a watercolor effect using Revit and Photoshop. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions or any suggestions for future tutorials, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.